Hi, I'm Mac McCarthy, and I help people with their breakups. And today, hypergamy. We're going to go with, are women attracted to security over all else? I recently had some comments made in a video that I made a long time ago, but constantly get new comments on. And this individual, it's called Scarcity is Attractive. And the video that I made is probably the most popular video on my YouTube channel. I'm not saying it's the best video. It's just the most popular. It gets the most hits. Most people watch that video. And so this woman, who I encourage everyone to give their take, their opinion on videos, make comments, because it's all an opinion at the end of the day. But she made this comment that wasn't a bad comment, but she was saying that scarcity is not necessarily attractive, that women are searching for security. And so I'll talk about the comment that she made, and then I'll talk about hypergamy, which has come up before. And I want to get your guys' opinions on this. Women and men. Are women attracted to security over all else? Is that the number one thing that women are eventually most attracted to in most cases? Is that what they're searching for? So let me see this, pull up this comment really quick. So she writes, "You're writing scarcity is what a guy needs. Women want security. Scarcity is attractive is what I wrote on the thumbnail." So someone commented, "Yes, Donna, security is what women want. So a man disappearing is the worst he can do after a few days or weeks." So in a breakup, she's saying that it's the worst thing that a man can do is disappear or do no contact out of a breakup, because women want security. It goes on. Coach Mac McCarthy, not to a woman, it's not. Scarcity is not attractive. So can a woman, my question to her, can a woman be attracted to more than security? If they break up, what's attractive then? Thanks for your take on this. Response. Coach Mac McCarthy, totally. I'm the beginning. She's not looking for, at the beginning, I'm assuming she's writing, because she didn't check her spelling, I guess. She's not looking for security, but she's looking for the markers for it. Generally, we, as in all women, are attracted to powerful men because of their resources. Most won't admit it, but if a woman wants to have kids and she wants a good partner, I think physical attraction is important for both men and women. But a woman will consider a man who gives her the attention she needs to show he cares, I think she's writing. If a woman is attracted to a cool guy, whatever that means, she is generally not considering him as a long-term prospect. Not if she has half a brain, she goes on to say. I invited her to the live stream, and I find it interesting. What an interesting quote. If anyone's read The Rational Male, they talk about this hypergamy. Rob, I gave you an email invite on this one because I thought you would find this interesting. Can you please explain security? That's a good question. And like I said, where this topic came from, it was in a comment this morning that I read. And I'm looking at the comment, and I'll reread the comment, Sabina, as security meaning resources, money, being able to take care of someone. That's how I'm taking it in that regards. So are women attracted to security over all else? Yeah, it could be considered a general statement to just say security. I experienced the girl who accomplished negative hypergamy. So she was with a cool guy or a convict, right? One of the things that's really interesting about doing videos and talking to a lot of people about their breakups and talking to you in the live streams is the amount of people of all ages, of all intellect, of all experience, that honestly think that they're speaking for all men and women when they talk. Do you understand what I mean by that? They honestly think that All women do this. And if they're telling you different, they're lying. No, this is what you think, and it makes you more comfortable to say that all women agree with you. But the reality is, there's nothing 100% true about men and women. There's a few different things, right? Certain organs, I guess. But as far as generalizing that all women do this, it's a slippery slope. And let's put it this way. Let's switch this up for a minute. We got 8 on deck. Let's think about this for a moment. If you live in near a major city or a decent population of people and know enough people over your time and your walks of life, you've witnessed at least one time or secondhand, tell me I'm wrong, where a man is with a woman that makes money, has money, inherited money, has a trust fund, and he doesn't do a whole lot. Maybe he doesn't have a job, he's not pulling his weight, but maybe he's good looking, maybe he's got a good personality, maybe he's a musician. He's got something that's attractive to that woman. And so it's reverse hypergamy in a lot of ways, because hypergamy basically means that you are moving up, correct? I mean, the definition is that you are moving up with someone that is above you in caste. Hypergamy is depressing conversation. If you take it to its logical conclusion, I hope that's not what the relationships have come down to. And G Money, welcome. I haven't seen you for a while. Been looking for you in the daylight with a flashlight. But the reality is, it's not 100% for everyone. Okay, I think in certain cultures, subcultures, it's like you look at a place like America, right? And someone will say, "Well, this is how it is in Western culture. This is how it is in America." Let's think about this for a minute. If you live in LA, you live in San Diego, you live in Seattle, you live in Montana, you live in Nebraska. I don't even know these places, right? I just read the book about Larry Bird. He lived in French Lick, Indiana, where there was 200 people or something. I forgot what it was. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be so fucking different, right? Think about that for a moment. If you live in a place like LA, right? I've never lived in LA. I lived in San Diego. So Southern California, San Diego, and LA are similar in a lot of ways, but they're not identical, obviously. There's probably going to be some women out there that have a kept man, that have reverse hypergamy. Tell me I'm wrong on this. Monica, I don't think it's just about material things. I love someone that has a goals, achieves them, and has a good ethic. I think women's roles have changed where they don't need a man for money. And I think that's specific to certain areas in the world. So when someone starts, my reason for getting into this when I read the comment is the individual writing it, they're not wrong, they're not right. It's just a fucking opinion, and that's fine. But what people tend to do now is all women do this, whether they're telling you the truth or not. Well, it's like, so you're speaking for all women? It's like there's some people out there doing breakup coaching that say they're backed by science. I find that a bit, I'm backed by science. Really? Would scientists believe that shit? And so when you get into that, it's really more nuance than just saying that, all women are about that. Now, this particular woman, when she's making those comments, obviously believes that she's 100% correct speaking for all women about this. And I'm going to repeat the comment really quick. And this is just for fun. This isn't to berate this person, but I find it really interesting because it's a passionate take. You're writing scarcity is what a guy needs. Women want security. Scarcity is attractive is what I wrote on the thumbnail. I said to her, yes, Donna, security is what women want. So a man disappearing is the worst he can do after a few days or weeks out of a breakup. And then she wrote, I'm at the beginning. She's not looking for a woman's not looking for security, but she's looking for the markers for it. Generally, we are attracted to a powerful man because of their resources. Most won't admit it, but if a woman wants to have kids, she wants a good partner. I can see where they're coming from on this. I think physical attraction is important for both men and women, but a woman will consider a man who gives her the attention she needs and shows he cares, to be very caring. If a woman is attracted to a cool guy, she is generally not considering him as a long-term prospect, not if she has half a brain. And so this becomes, what is a cool guy, right? But have you guys witnessed this where someone you know, someone you care about, a friend, family member, colleague, is with someone for money? And that could be, let me speak about this for a minute. I know multiple situations where men are with women that are the breadwinners. And it's odd. It's awkward because, people at cocktail parties, Christmas things and stuff like that. Everyone's like, oh, what have you been up to, so-and-so? Oh, yeah, I just, I take care of the kids. I do this. And I don't knock them, but you could feel that they're uncomfortable disclosing that. But I agree with Monica, that society now, especially in Western culture, where anyone could be a doctor, anyone could be a politician, anyone could be rich. Dare I say that there's some women that like the idea of having control of the relationship in that aspect? They wouldn't want a guy competing at the highest level in that way. I mean, let's think about this for a moment. Have you witnessed this before? So, Matt, in my very recent experience, no, security is not the main thing. Okay, that's getting to the point. And I would say that it varies with the individual. There are women, and I've seen this when I've talked to them, and they start dating again, and they're in a situation where they maybe grew up poor, or what they consider to be poor, or they've lost a job before, they have a kid to take care of. And so their filter when they meet some guy is like security, 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 because of their current situation. My point is, it's individually based. And so a lot of times the people, if you're coming across that over and over again, that's a certain demographic that's attracted to you or not attracted to you. And it's actually one of those things that can get clear really quick, because someone can tell by the car you drive, the way you talk, if you pick up the bill, and these kinds of things. And I'll take it a step further. There's some men that want a woman that want that because it gives them purpose and it makes them feel good. I'm finally on again. I've been so busy. Sending much love your way, Mac. Robert, I appreciate it. I know it's late over there for you because you're an East Coaster. Can you please explain security? I did. What do you mean under security? Half a brain. Thanks, Mac. Got it. I experienced the girl who accomplished negative hypergamy. See, the point of that, Rob, is if your ex went with a convict, would that be considered the cool guy? Rare, but happens within a certain dynamic. I mean, I think it happens more and more in areas where there's the ability to make money from both parties. There was a guy that was in a breakup I talked to over a year ago. He was in London. Sharp guy. I believe he was a personal trainer, so he was in good shape, right? Had a lot of confidence. And his breakup, and he didn't have a lot of extra money. He had some debt, some different things like that, but he wasn't down on himself, right? He had confidence. But he was dating a woman that was multimillionaire and from a very astute family. And when we unpacked his breakup, and like the whole time we were unpacking his breakup, there was no given time where this guy lacked confidence or clarity on what happened. But he did have some issues that she had so much more money than him. But he didn't realize that he had these issues. Does that make sense? The way he was talking about it, he was figuring at some point it was going to become an issue for her. And so he became more and more insecure because of it. But the reality is, she approached him at the gym, and, he ended up living with her. I'm sure she paid for a lot of things because he was just getting by. He had some debts, like I said before, and different things. And so if it's hypergamy in reverse, a lot of men are insecure and uncomfortable with it, is what I would say, over time. Because society puts this idea that, wow, she's taking care of you. What have you been doing? Yes, the criminal. Sabina, Rob, can you share with us any of your social media channels? For Rob. I was literally told that if they wanted security, I was perfect. Checked all her boxes, but didn't have fireworks, and was going to keep looking for both. Well, at least they were clear and upfront with you, Maddie. That being said, I would rather someone say that but didn't have fireworks, but was going to keep looking for both. I was perfect for security. And like I said, there's some women that would find that very attractive, right? And you're at a point right now, Matt, because I know we've done some live coaching and stuff. You're at a point where you're evolving a bit, and you could take that in stride, and you can go, all right, well, if that's how this individual feels, I can kind of understand where they're coming from, and make some adjustments along the way to maybe provide a few more fireworks. And you're doing that right now, Matt, by the way. You're spinning plates. You know that. I'm an enigma. I've never been into material things. I love someone that has goals and achieves them and has a good ethic. Has a good ethic. I think women's roles have changed where they don't need a man for money. I agree, as I said earlier. But subconsciously, are you filtering for it? Are you more attracted to it? Would be a question. And I don't think there's a problem with that, to be quite honest. Isn't just about security. I mean, it's wanting the best mate in every area. A female wants to know she is getting the best genetics if she is going to endure having a kid. That's a good point, dude. Good to have you back, G-Money. Like, why do chicks sleep with rock stars? Do they provide security? No, they provide status. Well, that's a different topic, but yeah, I agree. Have you guys seen, what's the guy's name? Rob Blizzering? You'll know who he is, G-Money and Rob, I'm sure, or the Blizz or whatever his name is. I don't follow him, but this guy's like the modern day Hugh Hefner. I think I talked about this in another live stream. And they were asking, well, what do you do with women? Because he's got all these multiple women. He's like, never chase. And he's like, one thing that always gets women is if you have other women. I mean, because we got some women today on the live stream, as we always do, and various walks, various characters. Would you admit that you find a man more attractive if another woman is orbiting him or giving him attention, or he's dating another woman and you're in the presence? Because I think that's absolutely 100% true. Obviously, with rock stars, it's times 10, right? They have an entourage. I mean, if a guy walked in that looked like the guy from Kiss or Alice in Chains, some of these average guys, they wouldn't get, women just chasing them around. So there's something to the status. And what do they call that? There's a term in psychology for it. Not confirmation bias. There's a different one. It'll float to me in a moment. But if you see a guy you're semi-interested in, right, and then you notice that some girl comes up to that guy and they start talking, they have coffee and they're flirting a bit, does that make you more attracted to that guy? I think it does. And the odd thing is, for men, I think it might be the opposite in a lot of cases. Then I need to ask a man about genetic testing before he gets serious. Also, him to visit mental health specialists. They should do that when they hire some of these ball players in sports. They should have them mentally checked out. A lot of relationships revolve around financial security. I'm a big advocate for women having some kind of career. This becomes important during divorce. Absolutely. Not sure I'd be as attracted to this guy if he didn't have his director title. It's proof he's not lazy and he has some IQ. Has nothing to do with money or security on any level. Slugs are annoying. Okay, so you're saying money's a byproduct and a plus, but the idea that he has a purpose and he has direction and he can't sit around and watch TV all week is what's more attractive than just actually having money. Don't date poor status. Don't date poor chicks. Date from your status or above. I think people do that, but there are people that value certain things. If someone values looks, right? There's certain individuals, especially men, but women also, that value looks, up here. These are the kind of people that will show you the pictures of who they're dating, over and over again if they think they're quote unquote hot. I know people like this, and they will definitely go down status wise and sacrifice an individual's status, purpose, job, education for the fact that they are hot. Here's my thing. Women get to filter for men. You have to be successful, stable, all this stuff, but men need to start filtering women better in terms of personality and their circumstances. Yeah, I agree, G Money. I think what guys do when they're young, probably, early 20s and whatnot, they don't filter for anything. It's just search and destroy missions for some guys, I guess. And then this is how G Money, this is how, you're like, how did you two end up together? Or the guy like 10 years later or 8 years later, because he just took the first opportunity of someone that was interested, cute, hot, that they had a good intimacy, but in reality, he didn't really like the connection. Hello from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, out there in Louisiana where they got the gators in the gator country. Have me some crocodile. My mom was supposed to be born, actually. I think it was Baton Rouge. They had an Air Force base there. My grandfather was in the Air Force. And they brought her back to San Francisco to be born. I've never been to Louisiana. I always heard it was a really cool place. New Orleans, home of like 10 Super Bowls. It feels like the Super Bowl is always there. Preach, Sabina. Don't hate poor chicks. Hey, Coach, drone pasty louse. I don't know what that means. Drone pasty louse. Is that a place? Coach, hey, finally caught a live so late, and I took a Benadryl bad combo. I wanted to say hello to the regular crew on deck. Thank you for saying hello. Yeah, Bennies. A friend of mine used to call them Bennies. I didn't even know that they help you sleep, but they do. Well, I hope you feel better. It's actually a thing for allergies, right? Sometimes I feel like some women are becoming too manly in their characters since they are able to achieve a lot like men, but men don't necessarily like women acting like men and taking control. Interesting take, Robert. Actually, I've witnessed some men that like women that take the reins and take control of the relationship. So it's not always cut and dry that way. But from the outside, I'll be watching the relationship. I'm like, damn, dude, you're getting, verbally abused, or you're getting this, or you're getting that. And it's their prerogative. Everyone has their own style and space and ways. And I think with the 21st century, we're exposed to more personalities, more books, more TV, more movies, and that all affects how you act. We don't have Leave It to Beaver, these kinds of black and white TV shows back in the day that really had definitive roles for men and women, and that would affect how people look at things. Hello, guys. Yes, G Money goes all both ways. Things. Wish I can stay longer to listen to you live. Sorry, I lost my place. Yesterday was a great live session. Robert, you can still have a career and do things and be in your feminine. What is too masculine for you? Good question. That's a fair question, Monica. Robert, I think he has to do with the thing that those women had to work hard for their success alone, then can buy and do things from themselves alone. Well, I've met women before that are strongly independent, and they have an identity of that, and they have a lot of trouble opening up and being affectionate or letting a guy lead, and then they'll complain about it after. Well, this guy isn't, he doesn't take initiative. He doesn't do this. Well, you don't allow him a chance, do you? Because anything he does that's subpar, you just bury the guy. Have you ever witnessed that? I mean, anything the guy does wrong, she just buries him. My mom was a professional woman. She says a lot how she sometimes regrets not being around for a lot of my childhood, but it's different for everyone. Well, there's a sacrifice with everything, right? There's a give and take for everything. Hopefully she liked what she was doing. It's like I look back, my father was a truck driver for 25 years, and I always wondered, like, why is this guy always so fucking grumpy and angry? And then I thought, you drive 45 minutes in traffic, try doing it 8 or 9 hours in a big truck. And I thought to myself, as I got older, I was like, fuck, man, I would be in a bad mood a lot of days too. But it was a choice. My dad's dream was to be a game warden, random as that was, and he didn't follow up on it. And he would have loved to do something like that. I have someone I like now, but she's making it complicated to go on a date. She rejects me, but says she will only go out with me if I call her more. I'm like, what? Why would I chase when she's rejecting me? That seems like a red flag, Robert, that someone's social proof. Thanks for that, G Money. You always got my back on that stuff. We're on the same page, bro. That's exactly what I meant. Yeah, Robert, there's too many fish in the sea. I know that sounds cliche, but if someone's saying, "Yeah, I want to go out with, but you need to chase and call me more," I would say it's counterintuitive, and I would back off. I mean, what are you if you give into that right now? Let me put it this way. I don't know the individual or what her situation is or what she means by that, but too much calling would be annoying. And go at your own pace, ask her out again, but don't give in to the fact like, oh, I'll call you all the time. What else do you want from me? Then you're just creating an expectation early on in the relationship that she can tell you what to do and how she wants it done. And it's going to be her in the driver's seat for the rest of the way. I mean, is that something that it sounds like you don't even agree with that approach? So if you don't agree with it from the get-go, then don't give in to that. What you guys need to do is go out, have a date, have dinner, have a good conversation, and not have a good conversation, get some clarity and see where you guys stand. Say, hey, look, I know you want to talk more and stuff like that, but let's just go out and have dinner and see what happens. There's not going to be any big expectations on this, but me calling you more, I'm more of a people person. I like to be in the presence of other people and get to know them. And let's just go have dinner. And if she goes, well, it's too early, it's too quick, you know what you say? Okay. Okay. That's it. Okay. No problem. You stated your case, done. A lot of women around guy would be too much work for me. A lot of women around a guy would be too much work for me. Too much work. Okay. Do you find it attractive though? I mean, deep down, the social proof, G Money. I mean, have you guys ever witnessed G Money? Rob's on deck, Robert's on deck, Judy Jack, welcome, hon. I mean, I've had it in my life before. I remember I was going to a restaurant pretty regularly, and there was a lady that was a waitress. Wasn't overly friendly, wasn't very talkative, but I'm friendly all the time. She's cute, she's nice, and she's kind of shy. But I went there regularly and I'd see her. And then they got a new waitress. And this waitress was outgoing, a little bit aggressive. Oh, where are you from? What do you do? Da, da, da. Immediately talking to me. Do you have a girlfriend? Kind of thing. Da, 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 da. And I swear, the other woman that had worked there for, I don't know, 2 years, and I've known, from going into the restaurant for 6 or 7 months, acted totally different. And she suddenly was like interested in talking to me a little bit more, almost like this new waitress had stepped in on her territory or something. And I noticed it wasn't subtle. The one girl was interested. She was outgoing. She was friendly. She did everything but ask if I wanted to go out. She was, asking. When someone asks you and you just meet them, like, do you have a girlfriend? And they're like looking you up and down and things like that. They're kind of interested, right? And so the other one, though, upon noticing that, came over a few more times, was a little bit extra caring about the food and this and that, asked me a couple extra questions. Do you think that's true? It's almost like the other woman created this competition that gave the other woman a nudge, right? Robert, she is some old-fashioned lady. She wants you to call on the phone, not texting. If I understand her point here. Okay, well then that's Sabina's. That's good. Then if you feel like that's the thing and you need to call more, maybe that's the case. Okay, that's a good point. Monica says if you're texting rather than calling and talking, that's something that I wasn't aware of, or I wasn't thinking in that way. That's true. That's true. But I would still say try to get a in-person date or a casual date if she wants to do things slow, like coffee or lunch. Never chase. Men should chase, pursue. If those roles change, it only works temporarily, then leaves you with an icky feeling. If you see them lighting up in their passion, that's attractive. Okay. Why would a woman make it so difficult to go on a date? I back away, she calls me, but then doesn't give me a definite answer about going out. I'm not going to bother if she rejects going out. I never chase anyone that doesn't say yes to go out. It's a waste of time. Have you tried suggesting a date to her? I would agree with you, Robert. I mean, if you asked her out and she says no, okay, no problem. Maybe in the future. And then in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, if you want to revisit and ask one more time, that's fine. That's not chasing. But this idea that to me, if she's pacing the idea of you need to call more, you need to do this, that's just going to progressively be a theme in the relationship that she needs more attention. But I could be wrong. Sabina and Monica have a different viewpoint on that. Yes, Judy, if a woman chases that's too masculine. One no means maybe, 2 no's means I'll think about it. 3 no's means no. That's good math. I've seen it start off good and turn into a nightmare for some guys. Robert, you should work on your communication anyways. If you don't like her attitude, then just leave it and move on. It's beginning and should be all clear. That's the type of woman, Robert, that will come back to you and be like, why didn't you call me? You should have called me this week. As soon as you pull back. That's getting complicated. I would back off from that first no. I agree. But you can revisit it. Social proof makes a person more attractive, but it doesn't make it easier to approach them. I'm shy, so I wouldn't approach someone if they were getting a lot of attention elsewhere. I think from a guy's point of view, I don't know if a woman getting a lot of a lot of men pursuing them. Obviously, a woman that's quote unquote hot with 2 T's, right? Gorgeous. They're going to get their share of attention. And I would say there's a faction of men that don't find competing in that way attractive with those kinds of women. Because it's different. After first, no. It's a sales tactic. Lots of people put up initial barriers to your advances so they don't seem easy or they can leverage something from you. Good point. Ego games. That's relationships in a nutshell. Any dating coach will tell you. Human relationships are just a series of negotiations. That's what a relationship is. Yeah. G Money's on point. I agree. They are negotiations. And what are ultimatums, G Money? It's when negotiations are off. That's when it gets real. And the thing about ultimatums, and a lot of people don't even realize that there's a lot of breakups that end that way. And it's not that someone got dumped. It's someone that said, you know what? This is not fucking acceptable anymore. I'm not negotiating. You either do this or we're done. And there's a lot of people now, if you tell them they have to do something, they're done. Yes, I agree and believe in this saying. If we treat our personal relationships as business, right, we would act totally different, positively different. Business relationships. And yeah. What's really interesting, though, is that as you get older and your life experience changes, what you're attracted to and what you accept, what your boundaries are change, right? That's the reality. And that's why people end up getting in breakups and different things, because over time, what was attractive, what was acceptable changes. There's some people early on that'll just be a doormat and then all of a sudden say, this is enough. I'm sad to say I've acted worse in my romantic relation than I do at my job. I hear it on the Mel Robbins podcast. Do you really like Mel Robbins? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I found it really interesting. She wrote that book, and the whole premise of the book is the act of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then doing something. It seems quite. Have you tried that, Sabina? From that, if you like Mel Robbins, yes, I find it very interesting. Mel Robbins. Do you read that book? Is it called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Am I getting that correct? Okay. And the premise of that is, if you're holding back or you're indecisive, count to that count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just do it. Okay. Seems so simplistic, right? Some of these things people come up with, and they come up with them, right? I think to myself, wow, it's not rocket science, really, huh? And that's not to put them down. That's just like if an artist does an art piece. When I was younger, I was like, I could paint that because it looks like paint's just splashed around. Well, then fucking do it, right? Mel Robbins She's got some spunk to her, though, doesn't she? She's always got some colored shades on. She's got a little bit of personality. I remember a TED Talk she did that was pretty good. She got into the stands and everything. Girls are crazy. They know how to bait you and try to hook you in by being sneaky and getting to know you. Beware. I don't know if that's an outlook that'll serve you, dude. I know you're laughing about it, but on the flips, and that's cool. It's funny to me. Girls, yes, so level up and date women. Ooh. What does it mean to level up? Someone asked me to talk about leveling up after a breakup. What does that mean to you guys to level up after a breakup? I'm just curious. They know how to bait you in by being sneaky and getting to know you. Girls date up, guys usually tend to date down because it's easier. Because there's more certainty. That's probably true. I don't know, but there's certain cases where I would say that girls, I mean, what's your definition of dating up and dating down? But I would say that relationships in their early 20s, first love, people that are in college, people with, their first girlfriend or boyfriend, they generally meet them at work or they meet them at university. They meet them somewhere where they're, seeing each other. They haven't been exposed to a lot of relationships, so they get close really quick. And people aren't locked into their identities. They're still finding who they are. There's a lot of cases where a really good-looking woman that gets really good grades, that's in college, has a good job, can be with a guy that, smokes weed every day, doesn't have a whole lot of gusto, doesn't go out, doesn't really care about how they dress. But at some point, it's going to level out, when they get done with school. This comes up a lot. Guys usually tend to date down. I don't know. I feel like I've always dated up. Like, being honest, dated up or equal. I don't feel like I dated down. But again, what's up, what's down? I like to look at these kind of situations as yourself as an individual, because generalizing it for other people is different. Level up is not being stuck in the situation. Move from that bad experience and change vibration on positive, getting out of the box, healing the trauma. Okay. I like that. That's a good way, Sabina. No one wants to feel like they're dating down. Okay. I know where you're coming from on that, Rob. I certainly know friends or past friends that definitely do that, because I don't know if you want to use the word ease. It's easier, but it's definitely easier for quantity, right? Quality over quantity. That's where I would say it's different, right? Adonis, sup? Watching you from a sauna. Sweet, bro. I like a good sauna. Saunas are underrated. If you want to cheat on exercising, then I would go with a sauna. A buddy of mine that was pretty out of shape, and I was going to the gym. This was a couple of years back. He's visiting. I don't want to go to the gym. Fuck that. I'm like, dude, just go to the gym with me. They have a sauna there. He goes in. I'm not going to work out. I'm not going to do anything. I said, well, go just use the sauna. Comes out of the sauna. He's like, fuck, man. Thanks for telling me to go. This fucking feels great. That's cheating. I feel like I just had a fucking workout. I'm like, it's a good alternative if you're going to be lazy about, running and doing active shit. Start with giving you the power, and then they try to take it back slowly but surely. I noticed and made adjustments. And yeah, you're starring in your own movie, Ozzy, right? You have some power. You always got to come back to where's your power. And you just said it's a power struggle. But you don't want to be in a point where you're doing things you don't want to do just to satisfy an individual. Accepting what happened, taking care of your mental, heal, and be self-aware. You have a phone in there with you in the sauna? Laugh out loud. Fake cardio. My gym offers sauna massages. That's helpful. I love a good massage. I get like 2 or 3 massages a week. My gym offers sauna massages. That's helpful. Yeah, 24-hour fitness. Sweet. Do hill sprints with a weighted vest. Best cardio. That's pretty intense. Hill sprints with a vest. Wow. That's going all out. Cardio is good. Have any of you guys done Bikram hot yoga? That's intense, dude. You want to get your heart pumping? It's a different kind of cardio, but dude, that's intense. If anyone wants to lose weight, and I'm not someone that needs to lose weight, but Bikram hot yoga, man, that's intense. Normal yoga is pretty intense. Now, Bikram hot yoga. I was introduced to that a couple of years ago. But it's one of those things you come out and you feel like you meditated. I mean, it's a nice, clear, clean feeling. It's a nice way to start leveling up, Sabina. I've done hot yoga. Did you like it, Rob? The nude hot yoga is the thing now. Not sure I'm down for that. I think you mentioned that in another live stream, and I said, you better have some fucking confidence, dude. Somebody ripped a fart in the yoga. I'm sure that's possible. People burp all the time. The highest power struggle is sex. Shows the power in the relationship. So if the power struggle is over sex, in what way? Who gets it when they want? Who dominates? Oh, who has the ability to dictate when you have it, right? Is that what you mean, Sabina? Because a lot of women use it as a treat, like for a dog. Yeah, I did mention that. Maybe I'll try it. Who cares? It's confidence, Rob. It's fucking confidence, bro. If you tell me that you went and did that, it's fucking serious confidence, dude. Go for you. Well, the good thing is you wouldn't want to go to an ice cold, as a man, you wouldn't want to go to an ice cold yoga event. Right? You end up with a pig in a blanket, man. Everything is about sex except for sex. Sex is about power. Interesting, G Money. Interesting. And who dominates? Interesting. I suppose that can change. One of my favorite House of Cards quotes. House of Cards was a great show, dude. That was a great show. So clever. It's like when you watch a series like that that's clever, good acting, you don't know what's happening next, and then you go and watch some other new show. It's really hard. It's really hard to watch a different show that's horrible or, not so good. Is there such a thing as ice yoga? Probably, but I'm saying, like, I wouldn't want to be naked in ice yoga, that's for sure. Isn't that like a Seinfeld episode where they talk about he's at the pool? But no, not that I know of. But you've heard of Wim Hof. That's pretty interesting. Wim Hof does all kinds of stuff with ice. But doing a sauna and then going to an ice pool and a sauna and an ice pool, that's really good for you. You want to lose weight and you want to work on your what do they call that? Your immune system and all these other things. That's you could just feel your body contract when you do that. So we're talking about hypergamy. Are women attracted to security over all else? It seems to be no, not necessarily. Girl I'm hooking up with the other dude said he got an STD from her. Girl I'm hooking up with, other dude said he got an STD with her. Well, it's good you can laugh about that. I hope she took care of it. You obviously would want to ask about that. I think, and someone says that, that's a mean thing to say if it's not true. I think women feel like they are bad women or bad feminists for following a man's lead these days. The push for independence carried into relationships. Again, G Money, that's certain areas and certain areas, certain subcultures. You know, if you live in a certain city, then that would be absolutely true. Yeah, but a bad feminist is different than a bad woman, right? So it's gonna infringe on their identity, and they're gonna go out of their way to probably overcompensate and show how much stronger they are, maybe. Yeah, and at the same time, in that G Money, sometimes, yeah, I mean, dude flipped out and lied because she ghosted him. Yeah, I agree with Sabina. Just ask her directly if you're mature about it. I don't think, you wouldn't ask in front of friends and try to embarrass the individual. Just be like, hey, this guy said this. I want to be upfront. You can just tell me the truth. That's it. How to be women if they aren't feminists. They make women out to be bad women if they aren't feminists. Well, people want people to be like them, right? It's like if I go to a San Francisco 49ers game when I used to have season tickets for a year. This is like 11 or 12 years ago, and you're a hardcore Niners fan, and you got Rams fans in front of you. You just don't like them. When I used to go to Warriors games and there'd be Lakers fans, I've made friends with them and shit like that before. But overall, you're like, oh, and all it is you just have different teams, right? But when people get into ideas that they think are 100% correct, it's fucking dangerous because it's still just an opinion. Those kinds of people it's like, oh no, this is right or wrong. This is black or white. No, it's your opinion. And so when you're around people like that, yeah, I haven't been, yeah, Lakers. I mean, like I said, I remember I went to a Lakers game and went into overtime. These guys next to us, we ended up being friendly with the Lakers. But I'm just saying, in the beginning, you're like, oh, fuck, these guys are sitting next to me. You don't even know them, but they got Lakers gear on and shit. I'm at a Warriors game, at a home game. That's just how we operate. Saying that, G Money, I'd say over the last few years, I haven't been around a whole lot of feminists, like strong feminist people that make you uncomfortable. Raiders fans are intense. That is absolutely true. I've been to a couple of Raiders games. It's different. It's an identity to be a Raiders fan. There's actually a guy on this. They were for a while. Well, they were for a while, yeah. We're at 11:30 here. Well, this is we had about 25 people on yesterday. We had a psychic, one of Rob's friends. It was different, huh? That's soccer team. Asia still gets it. Mac, the West is bananas. What do people over there say about America? I knew it. It's different. It's different, bro. It's different. It's different. I would say it still does come down to generalizing, though. Like, it's really dangerous to generalize, all people are like this or all people are like that until you traveled a bit. That's what traveling does, or living somewhere else. I mean, you live, I don't know. I think you said, G Money, you're from Cincinnati. I don't know much about Cincinnati, besides, your ball clubs and different things. So I can't judge it. But, when you talk about feminism and some of these other things, I mean, if you lived in Berkeley, I mean, that's been like that for years. Yeah, it's very dangerous to generalize. It's just to generalize, and I don't mean this to be, I think everyone does it naturally, but it's ignorant. And ignorant just means you don't know what you don't know. It doesn't mean you're stupid. You see the difference? And so I'll give you an example that has nothing to do with politics or feminism. This last week, I had to be a part of how should I say this? It's like a contest where I had to be a judge for speeches. Okay. And this guy that was another teacher, and we were all different teachers, from different places and stuff like that. And he's talking about this private school, and he's like, out of nowhere, he's like, oh, they launder money. And I'm like, in my head, a friend of mine works there. I've had friends that have kids that go to there. I don't know. Right. I don't know if it's true or not true, but the guy just threw it out there like it's true. And I'm thinking in my head, what's the evidence? What's this? And then I thought to myself, this is maturity. I thought to myself, nah, I'm not going to get in this argument right now, right here at 8:30 in the morning with, a bunch of random people around, or I'm not going to dig into this because I don't know. It could be true. right? But on the flip side, the guy who's throwing it around there like it's absolutely 100% true, right? And I just went, could be. Oh no, it's absolutely true. They're laundering money. Could be. I've never heard that before. That's how I left it alone. I'm not going to agree with you that because you just threw that out there. This is what a lot of people do now. They read something on the internet. Oh yeah, did you know this? Did you check the fucking source? Do they have any real evidence? You know what I mean? If they don't, could be true. I don't know. But people don't do their homework on shit. Thanks, coach. On a temple and waterfalls excursions on Patesy. I don't know that place. I will keep the power on the home front or away from the home. See you in Cambodia. Well, I won't see you in Cambodia, but enjoy. You definitely want to go to Angkor Wat. I haven't been there before, but it's supposed to be beautiful. It's supposed to be really cool. Women are pretty aggressive in the Bay Area. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, that's a place where everyone's making equal money. The Bay Area is flush with cash, man. Not all. You can generalize without implying anything about an entire population. Generalization isn't bad in itself. No, I agree, G Money. I agree. I just think with your life experience and maybe moving to a few different cities or different countries, obviously I'm biased to that because I've done it, but I'm not judging someone that hasn't. It does change your perspective, looking at things, and people just weird. When you live in a different country, you're just like, for example, in Thailand, you'll be sitting down and they'll bring a roll of toilet paper to the table when you're eating food, and they use it as like napkins. Even at a nice place, even at someone's, and it's not like, and at first you're like, what the hell? This is getting stuck to my fingers. There's just little things that you would never do. And then after a while, you're just like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's what they use. In the beginning, you're like, what the hell? This is toilet paper. Could it be used as, tissue to wipe your fingers when you're, from eating chicken or something? Yeah. And that's just one of those things that you just become more open and more, different things. Cincinnati. Have you ever seen the rapper on YouTube? This is random, G Money, Slim Jesus. Have you seen this guy? I think he's from Cincinnati. He's got like 50 million views. I might have asked you this before. He said correct. I always think of Cleveland. I always remember that movie Major League. They portrayed Cleveland kind of funny in that movie, the first Major League. That was a great movie with Charlie Sheen. And the guy, who's the guy that the guy that's like the cleanup hitter that's into voodoo, and now he does insurance commercials and stuff. That is the way people in Europe think that Americans are ignorant, because Americans love to generalize. Well, I've met Europeans that generalize too, to be quite honest, Sabina, but you're right in some aspects. Here's one for you, Sabina, that I've noticed a lot. I think that most people generalize about America because they watch TV shows from America, so they think they know. I've actually had, this is interesting, Sabina. I had a Swedish guy, I might have mentioned this before, and this was years back, and we're talking because I talk to people, I'm being friendly, and the guy's like, yeah, this and that, we're talking, and he's like, oh, you're from America? And he just like, it's like, excuse me, da-da-da-da. And he's like, well, nothing. He just had this totally negative context. And then then he's like, you guys put people in jail for parking tickets. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, where did you get that from? I go, yeah, they put people in jail for parking tickets if they have 20 of them and they haven't paid, but they can go on bail and they can get out. And he's like, really? I'm like, where did you learn that from? Where's this coming from? He goes, oh, I watched the show Cops. What? So it goes both ways, actually. Americans just generally travel less. I've noticed that Europeans are like, oh, you don't travel to more countries. Well, in Europe, you can go to Italy, to Spain, to England in a day. In America, there's 3 countries, right? Basically, we state hop. But I mean, overall, the world would be a better place if people could travel more often. And then the American concept of only getting 2 weeks off of vacation a year is, outlandish. Walk the Moon are from Cincinnati. Most Americans don't know who the second president was. That would be John Quincy Adams. Or am I wrong? Araceli Lozano Diaz. You're a bit late, but go ahead and ask any questions you like. Women in the Bay Area tend to love wealth. Well, I mean, that's a the thing about that, it's not by chance. It's the idea that they're surrounded by wealth. So that's part of it. I mean, when living there, I didn't even realize it growing up. And then, you know, the opportunities there just to work at a restaurant and make $200 or $300 in tips in 4 hours. I never had those jobs, but I know people that do. And it's just like, wow. But living there, it's relative because it's so expensive. You make more money, but it's expensive to live there. And now it's crowded. Yeah, girl I'm seeing from Hayward makes a higher base salary. I make way more by commission. Well, good for you, bud. Atlantis, welcome. Hayward. How do you like Hayward? The old East Bay. You used to have to go there to go to the Warriors games. San Mateo Bridge. I used to go jogging under that. So they want me with their act together. They want me with their, I don't know what you mean. I like to use a toilet paper that way, Mac. I can understand that. You know, my point was, Sabina, when you're first there, you're like, why are we using toilet paper for napkins? What the hell is this? Is there paper towels or napkins? And and that's not even like a low class thing. It's just like, okay. Not all pit bulls are bad. When a kid gets mauled by a dog, surprised, not surprised. Pit bull did it. I understand your point. My niece and nephew they have 2 red-nosed pit bulls, and now my parents take care of them. Thought we'd never have pit bulls, and they're actually nice dogs, but I know where you're coming from. Jones, hey, thanks for the comment. DeAndre Jones, what do I need to ask? Ask whatever you please, DJ. Generalization can be helpful. Profiling works. Cops do it all the time. Yes, your shows are very educative. Ask Mac. He will give you clarity. Did you get my emails? I don't know. From how long ago, DeAndre Jones? Did you use the name DeAndre Jones? Because that I usually remember names pretty well, and I don't remember yours. Probably a white dude, serial killer. Someone robbing drug dealers, probably a black dude. But who adds to those things? TV. I need help wording it, Dan. Yes, just message you. You were looking up the CW vids that have the same issues. Okay. Nico gets it. Because it's so much to say. Hi, friend. Rob brought me here to get advice. That's how I know about serial killers in the U.S., those shows. That's what I mean. So when you say about generalizations, the people that I've met living abroad and living in a place where people go on vacation, all their generalizations are from TV shows. The amount of people that watch Grey's Anatomy or Cops, I'm like, what? That's not all of America. America is a big fucking country. That's what people don't realize. It's like, oh, yeah, you guys never travel. It's like, the land mass. The amazing thing, if you drive around America, the amount of land that's still barren. A lot of countries don't just have barren land for miles and miles and miles. And you go through towns that have like 200, 100 people. And people think, oh, America's this rich country. There's some poor fucking places, dude. There's some places that are damn poor. Stereotypes and generalizations are always based on some element of truth. Yep. The key is just not to carry those generalizations into your dealings with individuals. I agree. Good point, G Money. That's on point. It's hood and they got drugs. LOL. Talking about Hayward. Recently, me and my ex split in July on the 8th, and it was because she needed to work on herself, and it caught me off guard. After July 22nd, I didn't hear from her or see her. Hey, she just emailed me. Nothing needs to be done. Our relationship has ran its course. I'm not going back and forth about this. Stereotypes. I ever date a U.S. person, I will ask myself, is he? You're funny, Sabina. The media definitely screws with people's perceptions of things. G Money, me and you fucking are on the same page. I mean, that's overlooked over and over again. They're rolling that shit. She just emailed me, nothing needs to be done. I didn't reply. Well, what are you going to reply with? She's telling you she's done. I mean, you're not going to talk her out of that. What I would do is send your full story in to writemac.com, read the instructions on my service page, and write out the story because it sounds like it's more to it than this, and I'll give you my take. If it's been since July and that's how she feels now, she's telling you she doesn't want to revisit it. Nico looks into Florida. I saw on TV they are special there. That's Clarity sucks donkeys, but there it is. Rob, now I'm really about to give up after reading that. Don't use DeAndre. Let me just give you some advice. I don't know if you came here to talk to Rob. That's fine if you did. I don't mind. But if you want me to chime in, using the word like never, we'll never talk again, we'll never see each other, never serves you. This idea that, she just emailed me and she told me it was final. You have to find a way to accept it right now. She broke up with you July. Now she doubled down recently with an email telling you she's not in. If she changes her mind, get in touch. Just leave it alone. Even if I've told you before, if you want to be really neutral about it, just respond with okay. Instead, if you change your mind, they know if they change their mind, they got an option to buy. Just go okay. That just means you accept it, but you're not excited about it, but you're not fucking crying either. And they're wondering, why would you just say okay? You chasing, you clawing, you scratching, you hoping and wishing, that makes their ego feel good. That makes them feel like, at any moment, if I slip or I fall, I can go back to this individual, but it doesn't make you attractive in any way. Think about that. It's difficult. It's hard, but what's the other options? What's the other option? Okay. So if you don't say okay, and then you go, well, I'm sorry, I did this, I did that. Well, I would have done this. You've already said all that shit. You've already said it all probably, right? In July. So you don't want to revisit it. And if you ever were going to get back together, which is always a possibility, minus the word never. I don't like to say that, but there's always a possibility at some point, somewhere, and some time that you could get back together. Then you don't, right? There's always that possibility. So don't say, we'll never talk again, or they're never going to see me again. I'll never be with them again. There's always a possibility. But I'll tell you what, if that match strikes and there is an opportunity, you don't want to be in a situation when they call, oh, hey, did you want to get together tomorrow? Oh, I've been waiting for this call. Oh, you know what? Actually, this weekend I'm available. No, you want to be in a position where you get that fucking call and you go, wow, I thought I'd feel different when I got this call. So how you been? How's everything going? Everything's really good. Yeah, maybe we should reconnect sometime soon. And in the back of your head, you're going, I've been talking to this other woman and another person. I'm doing really good at work. I've been going to the gym. And you know what? Regardless of what happens with this interaction right now, I'm just fine. That's ideal. Would you date a chick that's off and on with her long-term ex-boyfriend? What's your intentions, Adonis? So I wouldn't just say no, but if your intentions are to be friends with benefits and just hook up, then fine. If your intentions are, I really like her and I want to make something of it, no. Right? It's like if I was dating a new woman, if I was dating someone new and I was like, yeah, I'm seeing my ex-girlfriend and I was honest about it up front in the beginning, that's fine. And that if that girl accepted that, she would be conveying to me, well, I'm not that serious about you either. And I have the ability to see someone else too. So as long as you guys are open to both those things. But if you look at the individual as a long-term option or someone you really like or have feelings for, then you're setting yourself up for fucking disaster. She's basically telling you that if her long-term ex-boyfriend is going to be at the head of the line in most cases, right? So you're just going to be the second option at that point. And I'll take it a step further. I'm a breakup coach. I listen to breakups all the time. But if you're starting a new relationship, you don't want to hear about her long-term ex-boyfriend in the situation. It sounds like they're still seeing each other. That's going to be a hot topic. That's not fun. That's really what so many things come down to. You probably don't want to do it, but What's your other option? Good question, right? Good question. G Money, where Adonis, Sabina says run away. No, no, no. I say you can do it. Just be very clear on your intentions. Friends with benefits, fine. You want to have a casual relationship where you hook up and you're spinning a plate and you're seeing someone, fine. You want to grow it into something? No. As long as you go into it not taking it seriously, because she won't be taking it seriously. Exactly. And like I said, you're setting yourself up to have chats about the guy. Oh, you know what my ex did? You know what this did? This is just going to make you feel inferior. Why should you wait? Time is precious. Focus on becoming a better version of yourself. I mean, I say this, and being in a breakup years back and being at ground zero, it's hard. I get it. I was there. I was scraping and clawing. One thing I did do and I was able to stick to is no contact, because I knew there wasn't any other option, because I wasn't going to be pathetic and weak in their presence. I could do it in my bedroom and with my own thoughts and on a jog, but I wasn't going to, show up at their job or fucking send them repeated emails or call and text them knowing that I'm just going up against a brick wall. How do you recover from an illness, right? There's a lot of stuff out there now that says that, there's placebos and the pills don't really make a difference. What do the doctors say when you got a cold or a flu or you got a broken ankle? What do the doctors say after they treat you or they give you whatever? What do they do? Number one, you accept it like, oh shit, I got the flu, right? And what do they tell you? Drink a lot of fluids and get your rest, right? Why do they do that? Because it takes time to fucking heal. What's your other option? Oh, let me go out in the cold. Let me keep working. Let me keep stressing myself out. Let me keep going out drinking. Let me keep smoking cigarettes even though they make me sick, right? Those are shitty options. It's the same thing out of a breakup. What's your other option? To keep knocking on someone's door, annoying the fuck out of them, asking them the same question, trying to get a different answer? That's what a lot of people do. Let me ask the same question, see if I can get a different answer. Let me see if I can sell them on the fact that I've changed. Really? What's the best thing? It's not get your rest and get your fluids. It's going to no contact, get your head up high and start working on yourself. And if you don't need to, some people don't need to work that much on themselves. They just need to accept the fact that they're broken up and start to put themselves in a position to go, you know what? I'm going to make it through this. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard, but I'm not going to be some pathetic wimp weasel that's, going to the door trying to create situations to change this. Mac, what do you think? I'm sorry. The girl is trouble can bring a lot of stress. When you date someone that's with their long-term ex-boyfriend, what does it say about their character too? And if they talk about them in a bad way, but they still see them, that's a red flag. What do you think about having friends with benefits or a one-night stand brings bad karma? I think friends with benefits are fine. I've had those relationships. I've liked them. They've turned into long-term things. As long as you both are upfront about it, it's fine. What I will say about friends with benefits is someone usually is left holding the bag. There's always someone that has higher feelings, even when you're official. But with friends with benefits, if someone's got their hopes up, that's on them though. Right? Friends with benefits is fine as both. But there are certain moments when people are like, this is what I want to do. I just got out of a 10-year relationship. I don't want to be serious with anyone. I know people like that. I know a guy that's in his 50s. He dates a lot, really good guy, very good karma, very good person. He says, I don't want to be in anything official. I'm done with it. And he's a strong, confident individual, good person. So I think it's okay. One night stands, I don't think that brings bad karma. I think that's individually based. And if you're an adult and you have a lot of life experience and you've been around, then you can do that if you want to do that. I don't know where bad karma would come in from that, unless you were taking advantage of an individual in some, needy state or something like that. But that's not really what your question was. It's almost about not to reply, just move on, is what I'm getting now. Yeah, if you do reply, you just say okay. That's it. You got to accept it, man. I'm grossed out by tattoos, which sucks because they all have tattoos. I try to understand who people like to hurt them. like to hurt themselves. Knowing dating complicated personalities will break them. I try to understand who people like to hurt themselves. Knowing dating complicated personalities will break them. I think sometimes people just don't even realize it. But some people, Sabina, I've noticed this, they like drama. They like situations that are challenging. And so they'll, even though they'll complain about them or they don't find them ideal, they find it a lot more, I don't want to use the word fun, but engaging to be with someone that's got some twists and turns. Is there such a thing as simple personalities? Yeah, I would say there is. Those are people that follow the rules. They are very routine, and they don't like to take a lot of chances, would be simple personality. But that's just my definition. There's not a lot of surprises from them. But maybe I'm wrong. I will send you the link. I think most resembles your situation. That would be okay. Damn, I appreciate she compares us a lot. I bring up my exes when she brings up him up. And that's fine. If you guys are helping each other out in that way, I don't think there's a problem with that. Just know that, you know, you guys aren't building a relationship for the future. You guys are supporting each other in the wake of breakups. It's basically like a rebound for a rebound. But as long as that guy's in the picture, you're never going to get full attention. Honestly, now I do just not saying nothing and walk away. Rob's using this as a platform to do his own coaching. Good for you, Rob. Monica, good question. I think yes. I need to hang with you, Sabina. Sabina's got some gusto. You can't really rebuild a bridge that someone else burned down. Fucking, this is the little poet. You should do some writing, G-Money. You do blogging or something like that. There's one statement you can say that will somewhat reestablish your self-worth to a certain extent. I think undercomplicated as a person with mental health issues, I know you understand these topics. Okay. I invested a lot in my health and education. I bet you did. I take it as a compliment that you come on my show regularly then, right? Seriously. SB education is nonstop. It is. That's a good point, dude. And it's so beautiful now with the internet and YouTube. It's like the amount of things I watch in my free time that are lectures or interviews with interesting people. And it's so easy to get more knowledge than it used to be. Not a big fan of friends with benefits, but to each its own. Exactly, Monica. You don't have to do it, but if someone's in a friends with benefits relationship, I'm not like, oh my God, you're an idiot. Gonna email you that it's similar to what I emailed you before. Look at Rob's doing some work, some humanitarian. You want to do breakup coaching, Rob? I'm getting off. I'll just be waiting for your email. G-Money, yes, you can't rebuild it. Are you doing breakup coaching, Rob? If you are, you should be, because you're a caring individual and it seems like it suits you. I'm working on I haven't talked about it much, but I'm working on a platform for people that want to do breakup coaching like what I do, with someone from the Silicon Valley, actually, a friend of mine that I've known for years. So if you wanted to do that in the future, Rob, or G-Money or Sabina, I think it's something that people can find their own niche. As man, it's better to approach women with a pump. If it turns into something longer, that's great. Telling women up front. You definitely don't want to tell a woman, in the first date, like I'm looking for a girlfriend or something like that. I'm sure some people do it. Women do it actually a lot, where they're going, hey, look, and it scares people off a lot. I think in the first couple dates, I don't know if you need to do the pump and dump, as you say, but you definitely need to just have a good time and develop a connection and see if you really, really like each other. And then lead with your values and your morals into that relationship and what you're comfortable with. Nico, I don't know, because the girls you pump and dump are usually not the best material for long-term relationships. Good point. Not to generalize. I notice I always date women that are emotionally unavailable, trying to fix that. That's a pattern. So if you realize that there's something that you're filtering for, there's something about your personality, doesn't mean you're a bad person, but there's some area, there's some way. And you know what it is too, Adonis? The fact that you're allowing to have those conversations and then have another date. And you're comfortable, probably. You're comfortable trying to fix it. Might be something from your childhood. It might be something from a past relationship. That's something I can unpack in a live coaching session if you wanted. If the guy doesn't make a sexual move, the girl thinks it means he is weak or doesn't think she is hot. Just those girls can be fire that could burn you. This is a great show. Thanks. I appreciate it. I thought you were going to bed on those bennies. Afternoon all. Dylan, Adonis, you have that broken bird syndrome. I think one of the things I said before, and G Money liked it, I said two birds with broken wings can't fly. Just made that up myself, actually. Monica, what do you think? Hello, Dylan. Hello, Sabina. What's up? If they give it up, they feel invested. You're a poet, Nico. If I date a U.S. guy, I will tell him I am looking for a serial killer. Oh God. I was going to bed. My situation just love bombed me, talking about God and how he prayed about this and all that too much. Wonderful, Mac. Yes, two broken birds can't fly. I'd love it if a girl told me that I'd play along. I'd say Ted Bundy is my hero. Come on, man. Walking and cranking up a new song. It's sort of like a breakup song. I love it. Right on. Any closing questions, folks? This has been a good live stream. Got an hour and 16 minutes in here. Anything closing? Otherwise, Dylan comes in at the madness. Fun so raw. I know, but sometimes, I like to joke around. But like I told you, got to watch the line, dude. G Money, old boy, long time. Dylan, look, yesterday's stream was great too. Actually, Mac, you need a moderator in here. Not yet. We don't have enough people. It's fine. So the moderator has a right to push people in and out or ask questions? Consider one of your regular co-hosts. Yeah, I know. I'll get there, hon. I'll get there. I've had countless people offer, and I appreciate it. I do. Take me with you. With blue wrench comes great responsibility. With a blue wrench, what does that mean? With a blue wrench comes a great. Oh, is that what the moderators is? The blue wrench. I missed yesterday's live stream. Low on data as soon as I recharge. Nice combo. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate you, bud. Yeah, this is good. This wasn't as many people as yesterday, but we had a good one. Yeah. You had your tarot card friend in yesterday, Rob. Mods get a lot of little blue wrench by their handle. Probably if it was going to be a mod, it'd be G Money, Rob, the riders on the club. Oh, Vanessa's variety show came in for a late arrival. How you doing? VVS. VVS, Vanessa, VVS. Sounds like a bag brand or something that you buy some expensive bag. Oh, is that a VVS? You should listen to this breakup song, Mac. Be right back. Dean Lewis, you'll love it, believe me. I'll take it on my value. I'm turning in. Tonight was fire. Check out that Slim Jesus on YouTube. G Money from Cincinnati. All right, folks. It's been lovely. It's curtains.